I am Caleb. Please like and subscribe.
Hey, welcome back to another episode.
You barely made it back, Holly.
Did you see how fast I was running?
Yeah, I was like, is she coming back? I just saw you, like, your feet moving real quick as you were, like, running out of the camera. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a podcast without there being a little bit behind-the-scenes chaos, so.
Oh, that's the best.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
The chaos is the best part of our podcast.
It is. We used to, our favorite podcast had the word chaos in it back in the day, and it was a perfectly named podcast, Chaotic Exposure.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Which we were privileged to be guests on. I wish they were still doing that, but unfortunately, they decided not to. But how was your guys' week?
Good.
Busy.
Quick.
Yeah, it is absolutely been the fastest I feel like in my life that we have got to April. I think that's just with something that has to do with age, but it has been very, very busy. Very, very busy week, but in a good way, I think, for sure.
Greg's not here today.
Yeah, Greg is slacking off doing spring cleaning, like whatever. It's great.
He's helping his wife.
That's what he says.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like prioritize, right? Like you gotta prioritize that stuff. You know what? Or be like me, and whenever you just think of it, you just throw stuff out. Like I don't have clutter. I don't deal with that. But I don't know. Greg's a work in progress. Someday maybe he'll be as cool as we are. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys want to talk about this week? You got anything written down?
No.
He was full of ideas, I bet. They put him center stage when Greg's not here, so he can be the focal point.
Yeah, great.
I think we should talk about the Final Four.
Okay. Yeah, What's that?
Florida winning, like.
Okay, so Florida winning cost me $110.
Oh, wow.
Because if Auburn would have beat them, no matter what happened in the other side, I would have won our bracket challenge. Because everyone else had Florida beating Auburn. And was it Auburn?
Yeah.
I had Auburn beating Florida.
I did too.
So instead of being first place, I'm third place. And that's how it's going to end up. Because I had Houston winning it all. Mm-hmm. And last night, I had dinner with some friends. I'm not really watching the games. I get home, I turn on the score on ESPN, and it's Duke by like 7 with 20 seconds to go, 6 with 20 seconds to go.
No, it was like 9.
Up 9.
Mm-hmm. They went on a 9-0 run in the last 33 seconds.
And then they lost by 3. So it's like a 12-point swing in the last 33 seconds of the game.
It was
insane.
It was, I wanted Houston to win because, Duke beat us. And so I was like, F you, Duke. And I don't like Duke. And Cooper Flag is so freaking good. Like, good grief, Cooper Flag.
He may be the best college basketball player I've seen in a few years.
I would have to agree. And
I'm not sure what kind of freshman has dominated better than he has since, like, Kevin Durant, maybe.
It's insane.
Carmelo Anthony, maybe.
Anthony's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, like he is insane. Not only is he big, strong, quick, he's good defensively, he's good on the boards, he's a great offensive player. But I'm with you, Holly. Since I can remember watching college basketball, I hated Duke.
I can't stand Duke. Fun fact, they used to have a website called diddukewin.com. And when they would lose, I would purposely go on there because in big, bold, red letters, it would say no. Just nothing else but no. And so it was my favorite website ever, specifically when they lost. But Houston, for the longest time, actually, they were saying Houston should be the number 1 team and that they dominate everybody. So last night when I was watching against Duke, first off, the first half was flawless. It was unbelievable. I mean, the score at half the first quarter was so low. It was like 18 to 15 for the longest time.
Mhm.
It was insane. And so I thought for sure that Duke, they kept him like about 10 by 10 almost the entire game. And that's what they did to Arizona.
Mhm.
And so I was thinking, oh, here it goes. It's going to be the same song, same dance. But holy crap, the ending to that game was something magical. I mean, Houston deserves to be in the final. I think they're going to win it all. I think they're going to
Really?
beat Florida and win it all. Yes.
I think it's going to be a heck of a basketball game. It's kind of a contrast in styles for sure. But before we get to there, let me ask you something. When did your hate for Duke start?
Oh, I was young, like little.
I can remember the day that I hated Duke. It was UNLV. Nope, UNLV undefeated, Final Four, and Duke beat UNLV when they had Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony. I don't know, a couple other players. I can't remember their names now because that was a long time ago. But I just recently saw an interview with Larry Johnson, and he said that game was his fault. Like he was supposed to take the more shots in the second half, and especially at the very end. And he said, I passed the ball. He's like, I choked. And he said, if I would have played my game, we would have won by 10. And I'm not so sure.
He didn't play as hard either. Because the year before they beat him by 30.
Yeah, he's like, we just figured we were going to win. And then by the time I tried to turn it back on, it was too late. And I appreciate the honesty. It only took him 40 years to be honest about it. But that's when I started hating Duke.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I hated Duke because I could not stand the coach and the way he chewed his gum. I wanted to slap him every time. Like, I cannot stand you, but he was one of the greats. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And I still hate them now that he's even like gone and retired. So I think it's just the name Duke, the Blue Devils, like, not a
Christian
fan.
Laettner made me not like them. I wasn't a huge fan of Grant Hill or Bobby Hurley in college. Yeah, and then I just kind of didn't pay attention. So, yeah. But I will tell you, I think Coach K is a lot like Tom Brady in my mind, where I could not stand him when he was a player. But then a year or two after they retired, they start to go, okay. I mean, you got to give some credit where credit's due. These guys are like all-time greats from what profession they were in. And so I still can't say I'm a Tom Brady fan, but I respect him, and I'm the same way with Coach K. Like, I never was a fan, but I do kind of respect the game.
I really like Houston's coach, Sampson.
Yeah, he used to coach Oklahoma. Yeah. I can remember in the Big 12, he was Oklahoma's coach.
But I don't know if I really like him because he's older, and the older coaches seem so poised and together, and I just really
wasn't that way when he was younger, let me tell you. No.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a hothead.
They interviewed him at halftime yesterday, and they were down by, I want to say like 7 or 8 at halftime. I can't really remember.
Something like that.
He just came out and he was like, you know what? It's our defense. We need to do better on defense, and we will win this game. We're going to win this game. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, every coach says that, but he knew. He knew where to make the adjustments, and they came back. The last 30 seconds of the game, they came back like a team I've never seen before.
Well, I will tell you, as a guy that does coach basketball, no one knows your players better than you do. And it's not just their strengths, it's also their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So when you watch, like I say, a half of basketball and you're watching it play out, there are times when you go to the locker room and go like, come on, guys, like this isn't who we are. Like we're these 2 or 3 little things that we could switch up here and turn it around. We'll win this game by 10 easy, even though we're down, say 5.5. But there are other times when you're playing in a game and you see that everybody is playing at that 99 percentile, because nobody plays a perfect game, but they're playing good. But you just know you don't, unless the other team just misses some shots, you just don't have enough firepower to stay with those teams. So I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, obviously when you spend hours upon hours of practices away from, the actual games, that nobody knows their team better, but some strategize better than others and some get more out of their players than others. But when you get to the last 8 college basketball teams, I don't even care if there's a Cinderella story in there. You're talking about great players and great coaches because you can't accidentally get to the Elite Eight. You can accidentally win a first round game, I think. You could just be hot shooting that night.
Do you guys think that they finally got it right this year with the seeding?
So it's all 4 number ones made it?
This is like the second time, I think, only.
Okay, let me tell you, you want to know my philosophy on it?
Yeah.
I think they did, but here's why. I think the NIL money proves to you during the year what teams are the best teams. Who look at Kansas. Next year, they will have 0 scholarship players on that team from this year because they had 3 graduate and the rest of them all went to the transfer portal. Doesn't mean that they'll leave, but they all went to the transfer portal. So what I think you're going to see is the tournament is going to be seeded like it is now, but all the better teams are going to win that are higher seeds. Not all. There's still going to be 1 or 2. But when you're talking about the number 1s, the number 2s, the number 3s, number 4s, I think that the regular season is absolutely going to prove to you who has the better players. Somebody gets hurt in the tournament, that's a different story. Sometimes there are just bad matchups. But I think you're going to see that more often than not now with the NIL. I think the regular season is a proving ground of who put the best team together that year, because it is going to be year to year with everybody being able to go to the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. But I do think when you get to the tournament, next year when I do a bracket, I'm picking 0 upsets. I'm going to pick it to seed and go.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not fun, but I think over the next couple of years, that's basically how the tournament's going to start playing out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Unfortunately, I hate.
There's still room for teams to improve during the regular season, but when you are paying players to come to your school and play like they're a pro, I think after, what do they play, 30 games in the regular season, basically? After those 30 games, especially against the competition that they're playing against through conference season, I think we're going to have a really good idea who, say, the top 16 teams are. And I would say 1, maybe 2 upsets. Like, you're going to have those teams in the Sweet 16 besides maybe 1 or 2 teams. That's just my thoughts. I think you're going to start seeing that in college football too. Like, as the playoffs expand, I think that it will play pretty much to seed. Sometimes you get a weaker conference if somebody's like 12-0, but they hadn't really quite played the schedule. But I think the NIL is going to change the face of college sports. I really do.
And I hate that. And I mean, a lot has to do with like a few of our really good players have entered the transfer portal. Vasar, oh my gosh, I love him. He's our tall giant. Like, love that guy. He's going to North Carolina.
Well, one of Arizona State's best players is coming to Mizzou next year.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but
it's happening everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just our team, but it just really makes it hard because now you really can't be a fan of the player. I mean, you can, but just know that he's probably going to leave and go somewhere else. And
they're not going to be there for 3 or 4 years anymore. It's just like 1 or 2, maybe.
Like, we're getting what's his name? Kobe? No, not Kobe Bryant. We're getting one of the sons
or something. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then we're getting Pete, who just committed. He's like he's a number 5 ranked player in high school. Like, he's like their top. So we're getting him. And then we have Krivas coming back. He was hurt all season. So that's like a big deal. But I'm going to really miss like KJ Lewis, you guys. His defensive play is unreal. And he's a big reason in a lot of games where we get the steals and we get these turnovers and nobody else really did it like KJ Lewis. And now he's going to be gone. So somebody else has to step up. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the stupid portal.
Well, I think our parents and grandparents had the same conversations when it came to like free agency and professional sports. Right. It was like, well, now they can leave. The difference though is at that level, they usually sign, say, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year contracts. Right. So unless the team trades them, they're going to be there for a while. So you buy the jersey, you become a fan. In college, you're going to be hard pressed unless you're one of the bigger schools that has a giant NIL package that you can keep dishing out. You're going to start getting outbid because their coaches are always going to think they're one player away. So they're going to make that push to take that guy from whatever team that fits that need that they have. And it's going to change. And I don't want to sound like the cranky old man, but to me, I think it's going to be to the detriment of college sports.
Yeah.
I do. I actually kind of already starting to see it. 3 or 4 more years. I like the idea of paying the players. Okay. I'm not on that side of it because it's $1 billion business. They should get something out of it.
Yeah.
But they could have came up with a better system than what they came up with. Because the other thing it's doing as a high school coach that a lot of the high school coaches are talking about is freshmen are not getting the scholarships they used to get, because what you used to sign a guy and he was on your program for 4 or 5 years, depending on red shirts. Mm-hmm. So then you had to go get the next best thing at high school and train them up. Mm-hmm. Now, unless you are a 5-star whatever, you're sitting and waiting, because these guys would much rather have a junior in college that has a track record than to give you a shot with a scholarship as a freshman and that's never played college sports. And so it's kind of hurting that aspect of it too.
Do you think part of that's because the coaches, if they don't have a good team, they get fired, so they're trying to get the best team every year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Their loyalties are to some level has to be to their families first. Yeah. They want to still be able to be employed, and colleges and pros are not loyal to their coaches. It wasn't the Memphis Grizzlies or the 8th seed in the playoffs, and their head coach just got fired.
They're
in the playoffs?
No, they're not in the playoffs yet, but they're almost. They're like a couple weeks out, or maybe a month out. I don't follow the NBA very much, but I know he was a number 8 seed right at that point, and they fired their head coach. So yes, at some level they got to say, "Sorry, kid, but we got to go this route."
Yeah,
because I need my job. But I get it. I just feel like there was a better way of doing it. I just don't know what that better way is, because I've never sat down long enough to do the math to see how that all works. Yeah, Jeff said incoming freshmen are at a serious disadvantage, and they are. Mm-hmm. And that's coming from a guy that son is a junior in high school that I believe has a really, really good chance of playing college baseball. But you'll have to see how that all plays out, because we think of the NIL as being like basketball and football, right? Mm-hmm. It's all of the sports. Mm-hmm. They just don't spend as much money in, say, softball as they do football, mm-hmm. So it's a trickle down effect. Plus, you're seeing guys that stay in school longer now.
I was just going to say, do you think that this now, I mean, it's almost
some level
you're getting paid. Why not stay in school for the 5 years? Because you could redshirt 1 year.
Unless you're the elite of the elite, you mm-hmm. would go to the pros if you are the elite of the elite.
Like Cooper Fleck.
Yes, because you want to get your rookie deal out of the way so you can sign your mega deal that NIL money is never going to touch. But if you are a dude that's probably going to be a backup offensive lineman in the NFL, at best, I stay in college as long as I possibly can, because I'm going to make more money being the starter at Clemson than I would being a sixth round draft pick that signs a rookie deal.
Agree.
I mean, wasn't it Arch? I forget his name now, but Manning is his last name for Texas. Mm-hmm. He didn't even start last year. He made more money than Brock Purdy did for the 49ers at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's insane. And they got
Georgia.
Yeah, Beck from Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah, he went to Florida to get paid more than like 3 of the starting NFL quarterbacks.
Miami, I think.
You go to Miami? Okay.
Yeah,
one of those.
But he's getting he's signed a $10 million NIL deal, drives a Lambo, and he's like a 5th-year senior. There's some dude from Miami that's playing in like his 7th year of college football, which is insane. I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
He was a freshman during COVID, so he got that year back, and then I think he got 2 medical red shirts, and he's not quite good enough to go pro, but I think he's going to turn 28 this college season.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
27, 28. It's insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
But so that's just it.
Question.
Yeah.
Could you still play in a college sport at 30? If you go in for the first time at 30 years old and you're badass, can you play?
If you haven't used up your eligibility.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because here's the one school that sometimes pops up at BYU. because what BYU does is you go, I think, and
Your
don't
mission.
quote me on this, but you go for 2 years and then you go away on missions, I think, for like 2 to 3 years. And
2
then you come, is it 2?
Yeah.
And then you come back and you finish your junior, senior. So you're 2 years older than everyone else when you're a senior. Other schools, not at BYU.
Yeah.
But so at that point, instead of being, say, 24 years old, you could already be 26. Now, I also know with like Navy and Army, sometimes they're required to go do things. I think it was David Robinson played at Navy. Wait,
Yeah.
do you remember who David Robinson was, Holly? Or are you not old
For the
enough?
Spurs.
He sounds very
Yeah,
familiar.
I think it was him. He got out of it because he was too tall, I think.
He's in the subdivision.
Yeah, and he didn't really fit in submarines because he's 7 foot tall.
Oh, that makes sense.
But that was going to be one of his deals too, was he was actually going to have to go do that and then come back and finish his senior year. And I think it could have put him at like 27 years old or whatever. But let's just say that you got a high school senior that's 5'8", weighs $145. He actually grows in college and becomes, say, 6'6", jack dude, whatever. Was pretty good basketball player, but not good enough to play. Never went to college. Just started working as a trade school or whatever, and then decided to go get a master's or something. He still has 4 years of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
You see that a lot at like the NAIA levels.
I think D1 has an age range, but I don't think the others do.
I think it's where you have to start, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at NAIA, I don't think that there's. Well, as a matter of fact, I don't remember the specifics, but there was an older man that was like on a swimming team or something that for an NAIA Division II school that was like 62 years old, and he was a college athlete. This was probably 15 years ago.
That's
I had
great.
2 guys on my basketball team that went to the Army first and then came to the college and played basketball. So
Hensley
like 4
and
years older than everybody else. Wynn and
Hensley.
Hensley, yeah.
Yeah, Wynn looked like an old man. He wasn't as old as he looked, but he had gray beard and gray hair and like salt and pepper hair.
Player.
But he was awesome too.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best players in the country that year. At
Bronny. That's we're getting Bronny.
Bronny.
Yeah, something like that.
Meg knows who David Robinson is. He said the Admiral. That was his nickname. Oh, yeah, Jeff said the same thing. Yeah. Oh, Arch Manning, Jeff said that's the kid's name that plays for Texas. But yeah, he didn't even start. I think he might have started a game because Ewers or whatever the quarterback's name for. He got hurt, but he wasn't the starter. He was making more money than pro football quarterbacks. So interesting for sure.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So Holly, what do you got planned for this week?
So on Tuesday,
Can you talk about it?
No, I can. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. They just hit me.
Top
It's like,
secret.
oh, I put her on the spot. She can't say anything about it.
No, so on Tuesday, I am flying down to Las Vegas to go to the Google Next conference, and I'm so excited. I don't know. I love to learn new things, and
You're a nerd.
I am such a nerd, and people think it's like they're like, "You're not a nerd." I am so nerdy.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, Holly is a nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why she gets along so well with us, but
That's seriously probably.
Yeah.
I am all about tech. I love it. So this is like their latest and greatest stuff that we get a sneak peek into, and then they have workshops that I'm really excited for because I am going to learn even more about AI, and it's hands-on. So they're going to help me build stuff, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I feel like, with my new role, this is going to be a big deal. So I hope I can get all the information so I could bring it back and say, okay, this is how I want it. So,
well, not only is it a big deal for what you're doing, but I mean, this is a big time conference because didn't you say there was a concert at Allegiant Stadium?
Yeah. So the coolest thing is it's at Allegiant Stadium on Thursday. Yeah. And the Killers are gonna be performing now.
So you're saying it like you don't know who they are, but there's people in the comments that are gonna be like, the Killers, I can't believe you get to watch them.
Yeah, no, I know one song. I tried to sing it when it rose at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well. But honestly, like I'm all about concerts, love them. It doesn't matter. It's something about the atmosphere that I just absolutely love. But I've always wanted to go to the Allegiant Stadium just to see inside and stuff,
Yeah.
but I never wanted to pay the price to go to
Yeah. No kidding.
like, no, thank
Yeah.
you. So yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be a really busy but fun week.
You know, speaking of Allegiant Stadium, when they were building it, they were selling seat licenses, and I was going to buy 4 of them and sell every game but the Kansas City Chiefs game, because we play the Raiders every year, home and away, and then go out and watch Chiefs play every year. But they were reserved first for the people that live, I believe, in the county of where the stadium is. And by the time they got to the where outside people could buy them, people were paying so much money for them because they were thinking the exact same thing I was, that I wasn't laying down the money to buy the seat license. So it didn't end up happening. But
wasn't it a Kansas City company that built that or designed it or something like that?
Yes. Like, is it Black and Veatch that did it?
Was
Like
that what
that,
it was?
there's a famous architectural firm in Kansas City. I think they were the ones that designed it. And rumor has it, and there are pictures on the internet, you can go find this if you want to, that one of the construction workers buried a Chiefs flag in the middle of the stadium, and they can't find it. And that's like a curse that supposedly happened. So there's a picture of him with the flag standing. Well, it's still being constructed. It's not done. And he claims he buried it somewhere. I'm not saying that like the 50-yard line, but somewhere in that construction there's a Chiefs flag that's buried in the ground.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Very cool. That guy has a lot of other people's heroes. So yeah, no, it's very cool. But I guess we might as well tell the people too that we finally decided on a weekend to get back together, and we're all going to be meeting in Vegas first weekend of May.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
so we're looking forward to, it's going to be here in
week.
just a second, but we took forever in deciding what we were going to do and when we were going to do it. And then it came together. And last year, Greg wasn't able to go, but this year he's going to be there. So all 4 of us will be there, and we're going to try a few different things and maybe get some video content out of it. Last year, honestly, I felt like we were all just beat down a little bit just because of life. And we went out there and we just vegged out.
Oh,
we didn't film anything.
Favorite.
We didn't do much. We just relaxed. We enjoyed each other's company. And not that we're not going to do that again. We're actually staying another night longer than what we normally do because it was cheaper to come back on the next day than it was to spend another night or two. Let me just rephrase that. Cheaper to buy the hotel for another night than it was to fly out on that day.
Yeah.
And even though you still had to fly out the next day, it was like a couple $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
So we're going to have one more day out there than we normally do. And I don't know. It's hard. If you got a group of friends and you like to do things like that, you'll know how excited we are. But it's just a great time. It really is. It's just perfect. I don't know how else to say it. It's just perfect. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the app I have for the countdown says that there are 25 days, if I'm not mistaken.
25?
Yeah, that's about
25 days. Yep. We leave on May 1st. So 25 days.
No.
What?
Oh, yeah, 25 days. I was trying to.
I was going to say, did you book your hotel for the wrong day?
I know, right? No. Because I took an extra day off of work. I took the 30th off as well, just so I can get everything ready and get everything done if I need, whatever. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, no, we're leaving earlier than that, but no.
Well, and we were able to this time get a flight that was more in the middle of the day. Excuse me. That was more in the middle of the day because last time we didn't even get there until 11:30 at night, something like that. It was pretty late. And then, of course, because it's the first day and we were all like excited to see each other, we stayed up way too late.
Yeah.
So I think we get in around 3:30-ish this time. So get checked in, have dinner, and probably still stay up way too late. But that would be by choice and not by circumstance. So
True.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Even though I'm going, it's like different because
It
I'm
is
going
different.
for work. I feel like it's more of a work trip. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be drinking a whole lot or gambling. Like literally the conference is at 8 a.m. till like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then Google, we work with a lot of the Google people that are going to also be there. So they want to take us to dinner. So it's just going to be like a whole work thing.
Just business. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. And a lot of times I know the companies that I've been with before, when they send you to places like that, like you're required to be at these events. I don't know if you are or not. And if you aren't, then there's some pretty strict like things that they can do. I've seen guys get fired for not going to the meetings that they were supposed to be at because they're not flying you out there to go
exactly
have the time of your life. You're supposed to go out there and learn. And if you get some time to hang out and chill out and see some things, cool. But you still got to be there at 8 o'clock next morning.
Well, the tickets alone just to go to the conference are like $1,200.
Yeah. So no employer wants to buy that and then you not show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Although Google did comp us ours because we have a contract with them, but still.
They'd still be mad.
Oh, I would be pissed if
we gave you free tickets and you didn't show up.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly. So, yeah.
So before we get into Caleb's choice, I want to share something with you.
Ooh.
So off camera, probably not as much on camera as off camera. I've told you that for a while. I really jacked up my right shoulder. Like it has no movement.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a lady on Thursday.
Was it a doctor?
And more of a physical therapist, but masseuse physical therapist.
Not just a random lady?
No, not just a random lady. But I went from like 15% movement to like I can move my arm again. It's like it's not perfect, but it's like 85%. I just want to share that with the world. Most perfect thing.
What did you do? Like what
years of just fatigue and injuries of sports and turning wrenches and just different things like that. That she said what ends up happening a lot of times when you get to be my age is you don't realize it. But you know how we say we get used to the pain?
Yeah.
Well, how we get used to it is we start changing our emotions and like not using as much range of motion. We know where those thresholds are, so we quit moving that far. And so basically when you start doing that, then over years, you lose the range of motion. And I had started overcompensating because I couldn't even hardly sleep at night because I couldn't get comfortable. And so I had somebody I really trust say, before you start doing all these expensive scans and looking into it, go check out and get some advice on like tendonitis and different things like that. Yeah. So that led me down the road to this lady. And man, I'm telling you what, she spent 45 minutes like finally like adjusting like the joints, and I could feel it happening. Mm-hmm. But I knew when I got up, I was either not going to be able to move my arm ever again, like I was going to be paralyzed, or it was going to be better because I could feel it happening. But I'm telling you what, I feel like $1 million, so I can't complain at all. So I'm just sharing that with the world. Josh is a little happier today than normal. That's why, because it's probably been going on 2 years and I've had full range of motion in that shoulder. And the last 2 or 3 months is really like 15%. So,
yeah.
But anyways,
I have, so along kind of the lines. So
we talk about whatever we want, Holly, throw it out there. We're good.
Mike D, he's our TikToker. He was on TikTok and he saw this, I don't know, an ad for gum called NeuroGum. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
I'm not.
So one of his coworkers that he works with chews this NeuroGum. And so Mike's like, I'm going to get some. So he got some and I was like, you guys this is dumb. Like, it's just whatever. That shit works.
What's it supposed to do?
It like, when I say that it gives you a clear mind. The weirdest, and it makes you more focused. And I swear to you, I've been chewing this gum for a week now. And I notice when I don't chew it from when I do. And it could just be a placebo thing, but I can tell you.
I was going to say, does Mike D notice it? Does he notice the difference in you?
Yes. Yeah. He gets up and he pops a gum in his mouth and does. And I do the same thing. First thing when I wake up, so we also drink this blue dye. What is it called? Methylene blue.
Yeah, methylene. Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but I do it every morning. I drink that crap because it's supposed to be good for like anti-aging and all this good stuff. So I've been taking it.
And then you immediately jump on your shake weight.
Your vibrator plate.
Wait about 10 o'clock every day.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
vibrating plate, not shake weight.
But
The shake weight's that weird thing.
I swear on this neuro gum. The blue stuff, I don't know. It makes my mouth blue, and I can't really tell a difference. I don't know if it's working, but I just take it because what can it hurt? But the gum, I'm gonna bring it to Vegas, and we're all gonna have the gum, and you guys have to tell me if you feel a difference.
Are we gonna trip? Are we gonna go on a trip?
No, but it's
Are you saying gum like chewing gum or like gummies?
No, it's
like chewing gum.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just sit there and it tastes like
Can
spearmint.
you blow bubbles?
No, peppermint is this one, and then I got a spearmint one coming.
I like both of those flavors. So
yeah, it's the weirdest thing because I don't feel like I'm in a fog anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things is it was just like I kind of felt really dragged down and just in a fog, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I still don't know what it was. But Mike's like, here, chew this gum and see if it helps. And I swear to you, I'm like a completely different person.
So what if you're not in a fog when you chew it? Are you going to be able to fly?
Maybe.
Ooh.
We'll put that to the test on
I don't know, you're
the
not-
stratosphere.
What does it make you feel like?
I can actually multitask when normally I can't.
Oh yeah, that's true. He said now he can multitask when normally he can't, and he can't. He is the worst multitasker.
Oh, see, I can do that. I'm going to come up with a cure for cancer or
World
something.
Problems you're gonna
Yeah. I'll be like, give me a notepad.
I really wish that more people would know. It's like a new thing, this gum. And so,
I've never heard of it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
As long as you're telling me it's not going to be like one of those deals where it's like some hallucination type
Oh,
stuff.
no.
I don't
You're
play with
tripping.
that. So, I got to put this up here real fast. Meg put this, say that again, that blue stuff you drink.
Methylene blue.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that I've heard of it because I'm with Meg. I used to use that on my fish tanks too. I think that's what you use to treat them for ick, the disease icks.
Yeah. I'm not going to have the ick because I'm taking the shit.
Yeah. Well, the ick makes the fish look really weird. So,
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, I am very much, I want to look at the pros and cons on things before I start taking it.
oh, yeah.
And
Because once you put it in your body, you can't take it back
you
out.
can't take it out.
No.
Especially like some
You better
dyes.
know what you're doing. Yeah.
But the pros on this dye is a whole lot better than the cons. And like what it treats and what it does for you is kind of awesome. And I mean, if it works for you. But one of the cons was my skin could turn blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holly, you're like 4 foot tall. So if your
Be a
skin turns
Smurf.
blue, you're going to be a Smurf.
Yes.
Yeah. We know what you're going to dress
Smurfette.
up like for next Halloween.
There
You
you
can
go.
be, what's it called, Caleb? What did you just say?
Smurfette.
Smurfette. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll dye your hair like yellow blonde.
Yeah.
I don't know if she had a bow or a hat on or something,
You
but
got a little hat.
yeah. So that's
Mhm.
going to be a Smurf. That'd be awesome.
You know what though? But I don't know if it's the gum or if it's the methylene blue, but it might be the blue because my skin is so much clearer. Like my
Really?
skin has been doing kind of awesome. Like I kind of like it.
Well, not to be weird, but I thought maybe you got a new light because actually I would say, I don't know how long you have looked a little different
Mhm.
in a good way. Sorry, but in a good way. But I don't, it's like some days I feel like when I go back and watch the podcast, like I look redder or white, and it's lighting or we got the natural light coming in both sides too. So
Yeah.
if it's raining, it looks different in here, but that's cool. I mean, I do think there's some things out there, I've got some friends that are taking some different things, safe things. And sometimes I think they know that there's a pretty good benefit to them. Like they can feel it. Other times it's harmless and they don't know if it's helping them or not. But if it's not hurting them, then I go for it, but I'm with you. Just please know what you're putting in your body before you do it. Cause you can't take it back out.
That's And I don't know. So once upon a time, I feel like it's been a whole lifetime ago. I used to work in quality assurance over a vitamin and
Mhm.
nutritional company. And so I knew everything, the ins and outs about all the vitamins. And so I think that just mentality really has stuck with me going forward as I'm putting stuff in my body. But I do make sure to look into stuff. I don't just take it because it sounds cool. But I researched this methylene, and for me, it feels like the benefits are far more than the cons of it. I mean, the cons of it is you could get sick, like you know, throwing up and all that stuff. And it's like, well, it hasn't done it to me now. I don't think it's going to. I think that's just one of the side effects some people have that they have to report.
I hope that the blue thing is like very, very slow, and then one day it just like boom, and so one day you'll just be blue.
Well,
go ahead.
No, you're not, like, it's not a long-term use type of thing. It's like you use it, like I'll use it for a month and then I'll get off it for a couple of months and then I'll get back on it for a month.
Sounds like steroids.
Yeah, kind of.
Cycling through steroids.
Yeah, maybe.
I've actually heard doctors say that if you cycle through steroids the way that you are supposed to do it, that there's no harm in them. The problem is people get addicted to them and they won't cycle off of them. Now, I've just heard doctors say that. I've not tried any of that stuff. I mean, if you've seen me in real life, you know I'm not on roids. But I do think there are certain things that sometimes that we do, like if a little's good, then a lot's better. And it's not the case, you know. I gotta have to tell you, though, I was going to buy one of those vibration plates after the podcast.
I'm going to buy one specifically for Stephanie.
Oh, well, I was going to buy one and I wasn't going to tell you guys, and I was going to have it set up here. And then when we put the intro on, when we came back, I was going to be on it. Only those things are $100.
Yeah. 18. Well,
on Amazon, it was $100.
So no, there's one that I sent to, I think James. I didn't send it to him. I sent him the link and it was on sale for $89.
Okay. Still, I thought we were talking about like a $35 deal.
Oh no, this is like a whole ass contraption. Like,
what's the weight limit on that?
Yeah, 450 pounds is the one I saw, Caleb.
450. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it really?
That's what the one I saw on Amazon. The weight limit was 450. So
I am like
covers most people.
I should work for this vibration plate. I am like I'm getting everybody and anybody involved in this.
You're good. You're going to be the Richard Simmons of the vibration plates.
Yes.
You need a headband.
I love the dang thing. I swear on it. Like, I haven't done it today. And I didn't do it Saturday. And I can actually feel it. Like, I need to get on the dang thing because I don't feel like my body's awake.
Does it make you more feisty or less feisty?
No, probably. I don't know, actually.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's some side effects. The feistiness might be the side effect.
Holly.
I think feistiness is just that's stuck with it. I don't know how to get rid of that.
It goes with the last name, I think.
I think so too.
We'll blame it on mom.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to do Caleb's choice?
Let's do it.
Sure.
It's time for Caleb's choice.
His choice.
His rules.
All right.
Read these comments.
I know.
Oh yeah, I was. I have to click off of that link to be able to go do the new videos and then pull up the links for the questions and things like that. But yeah,
they're goofballs.
Yeah. Oh, we love them.
Mm-hmm.
First question. I think we already talked about this, but how did your bracket end up? Are you going to win your pool or?
No, third. We already did talk about it for me, but
yeah.
I don't know if we talked about anybody else's brackets.
I'm probably dead last on all of them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
If Auburn would have won, I would have probably won. But since they lost, I got second.
Oh, Auburn cost me too, Caleb.
Yeah.
We should go down there and have words with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, because I was really wanting Auburn to win. I was really wanting them to win because. So, did you know that they played this season? They played all three of the Final Four and lost to every single one of them.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they kept that streak alive.
Yeah, they did.
Good job, Auburn.
Yeah. No, so we have like a big old, it's a March Madness is a big deal at my job. Like huge deal. We have this huge party, so much fun. And then we all like do the bracket. Like we all fill out our bracket. I think I'm like third from last, but I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't, but I had Mizzou against Arizona at the final at the so like yeah, Mizzou like knocked me out big time.
Yeah,
You're doing this.
Yeah,
Were you tipping it back that night?
I don't know what I was.
I would have bet you my life savings that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I mean, I guess you know what, with basketball, I bet with my heart, which is why I don't bet money.
Yeah.
Because you know, and like Duke, I hate Duke. I think I had him losing like second round before they even got to us because I hate him like it. And so I can't put those feelings aside to like because I know basketball really, really well, but I cannot put my emotions aside to pick like actual so
I get that too, because like I went back and forth. I had the winner of the Missouri Drake game going to the Elite Eight. And I went back and forth until like an hour before it had to be submitted. And I changed it to Mizzou, knowing it should have been Drake. Now, it only ended up costing me one game because Drake lost the next round. But I'm the same way. That's why next year I am legit going to go in order and see what happens. I think I'm going to win.
Maybe just do one bracket that way and then do another one.
I only fill out one.
Oh my gosh, I fill out like a million. And every single one I have Arizona winning at the end.
I'm sure, of course.
I cannot not pick them. So
yeah.
Since we're in the Missouri-Kansas region, I was actually expecting someone to pick Missouri or Kansas to win it all, but nobody was that delusional. So I'm excited to see kind of what the rankings of this next top 10 is, Caleb.
Oh, so
it's my last top 10 for a while. Top 10 sodas in the U.S.
Pepsi.
I gotta say, Coke's number one.
Yeah, Pepsi, Coke, Fanta.
Fanta is number 7.
Dr. Pepper's
so Coke's number 1. Pepsi's number 3.
Sprite. What?
Well, it's kind of odd because there's other Coke products in this list. It's not just the company itself.
Coke Zero.
No.
Dr. Pepper.
Zero.
Not Coke Zero.
Sprite.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper is number 4. Sprite's number 6.
Oh, so
Squirt didn't make the list.
Mountain Dew.
But
Mountain Dew is number 5.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke's number 2.
So Coke and Diet Coke get 1 and 2. Ugh.
Well,
they're that much better than Pepsi.
No, they're not. They're
Coke
really
sells $36 billion worth of Coke, and then $2 billion worth of Diet Coke a year. I guess a year. I don't know what that.
$68 billion worth of Coke and Diet Coke.
Pepsi's is $14 billion.
Pepsi's number 3.
Yeah.
Did we get number 4?
4 is Dr. Pepper. 5's Mountain Dew. Someone said Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
6.
Sprite was number 6.
And
really?
7's Fanta.
Fanta's 7.
Is there a root beer?
There's no root beer. So you got 9
is it another
and 10 are
diet?
the same thing. No.
There's no more diets. 9 and 10 are basically the same thing.
Yeah. They're very similar.
Sierra Mist.
Yeah, Sierra Mist or Story is number 9.
I just guessed on that one. What is the orange one? Is the
yeah.
Not Fanta. There's an orange one. What is it called?
That's number 8.
I know. It's Crush.
Sunkist.
Sunkist. Sunkist, yeah.
Okay.
And number 7 is very similar to number 9.
No, we already got 7. 7
or number 10. Number 10, sorry.
Oh. Is 7 Up?
7 Up. Yeah.
Hey,
so let me ask you this.
List.
Number 1 was $36 billion worth of sales?
Yes.
Coke. What was number 10 in sales?
Just under $1 billion, it says.
That's a big difference.
It is. But
Coke is crushing Pepsi.
That much on soda is insane.
That is.
Yeah, I wonder if you added up all those numbers, it's got to be somewhere around $400 billion a year.
Oh my gosh.
What
it'd
do
be
you think
less
the
than
most unhealthy drink is? Soda. Basically, it was going by sugar content.
Mountain Dew.
No, you mentioned it, but it wasn't the top 10.
Squirt.
Meg
Oh,
has
wasn't
it.
it? Wasn't the top 10.
No, it wasn't top 10.
Night High?
Crush, Orange Crush.
Crush. All the crushes
Oh,
are like
that was
high. Yeah. It's almost
See, I
like
feel like
double
Pepsi's got way
sugar.
more sugar in it than Coke does.
I think it's like 8 grams more. 6
Yeah.
to 8 grams more sugar. But
You have to be a West Coast to drink Pepsi. Do you know, like in the Atlanta, Georgia region, every soda is called Coke? Like,
Oh,
we've
really?
got friends from Georgia that live here now, and when they say Coke, that just covers every soda because you don't drink anything but Coca-Cola.
Ew.
Yeah, because, well, I think their headquarters are in Atlanta. So
Yeah,
everyone, they employ a lot of people around that area. So everybody's just like, Coke, I want a Coke. And that actually just means all sodas, but specifically Coke too. So,
well, Squirt Ruby Red's one of my favorites.
yeah, I do like Squirt.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squirt is like a,
Refreshing.
but it's only a sometimes like blue
Yeah.
moon type
Very
of.
hot.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
For
grapefruit
me-
or whatever, grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't realize has so much sugar in it, and I don't know why I didn't realize it, but Gatorade.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
grief. I think I was sick and I had my D get me some just because I needed something.
Mhm.
And then I looked at the ingredients and I was like, holy crap, the sugar is unreal. They do have Gatorade Zero, which I made him get me after.
And it's actually not bad
no, I like
because
it.
I'm not a huge Gatorade fan, anyways.
Mm,
Well, when Gatorade first came out and they were in the glass bottles, it was only 4 ingredients.
that's right.
Now the ingredient list is huge.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They charge more, and it's probably cheaper to make because of that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The preservatives in there. Ugh.
Okay. My last one. Do you think you'd get along with a clone of yourself?
No. I've already thought about this before. Absolutely not. I would hate her probably.
Would you fight her?
Probably.
Cage match fight?
That would be awesome.
Holly versus Holly.
Holly versus
Let's
Holly.
do it. Maybe we can get Elon Musk to clone you, and we'll put it in the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Sell tickets.
Yeah.
I
No.
actually think a clone of myself and I would get along great.
You think so?
We would have cool adventures.
Cool pictures.
So much room for activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just don't think so because I have a very strong personality, to receive that back is like, oh, you're annoying.
Hold on. You're saying that you would annoy yourself with your own personality?
Probably, I think so.
Man, now I feel sorry for Mike D.
I know all of you guys are screwed. You're stuck with me. Like I can't even live with myself.
Screwed.
Yeah, if you can't live with yourself, man, I don't know what to say about all that. But
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
All the napping with Josh and clone Josh from Mike.
Oh my gosh.
it would be separate beds. Otherwise, that would be weird.
Napping.
There would be so much napping. We'd have bunk beds.
Right, Holly versus Smurfette. Yes, because
There
I
you
think
go.
my clone might be like the evil side of me.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be bad.
Kayla, what about you? Would you get along with your clone?
I don't know.
Yes.
Probably. I mean, I get along with everybody, but
I know.
You would play a lot of basketball against yourself.
probably.
What happened if your clone got better at basketball than you?
He wouldn't?
There's no chance that's going
There's
to
no
happen.
Hmm,
No chance.
That's
No.
funny.
yeah.
Well, I know it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we've been on the air for 55 minutes. You want to put this thing to bed?
We didn't really talk about much today.
It is what it is. I
It's like-
enjoy those sometimes, though.
You got a cryptic corner, Josh?
No, I kind of do, but I don't want to steal his spotlight because for whatever reason, the last 2 days have been a bunch of videos on my timeline about the moon landing being fake.
Mm.
Well,
And
was proven
they're-
that it was fake. Like
I
mean,
don't know if it's proven,
footage-
but it's pretty convincing. Like they show the guy putting the door back on as he's getting into the craft that's landed on the moon. It's the flimsiest
Floppy.
thing ever.
Yeah.
Whereas a
Somehow,
submarine
yeah.
door, one guy can barely open it up. It's so heavy. And, but you're on the surface of the moon with basically like something you'd put in the window of your car to keep the sun out. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You guys seen the new motorcycle Kawasaki made?
Hmm.
It doesn't
No.
have wheels. It's got legs.
Looks like a horse. Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
look like a horse, but it kind of runs like a horse.
Yeah.
And it runs off what, Caleb? Nitrogen?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do
It's
you
not
think
out
of
for it's
crypto?
not out for the public yet. They said that's gonna be coming out in a year or two. It's gonna be probably like $100,000.
So fun, weird story. So back in, let's see, in 2001, I went to Germany. It was my graduation present, and I went to Germany for a couple months because I have family that was living there. They were on base and stuff in military. So I went and visited, and there were these bullet like motorcycles there. It was a motorcycle, but it was like a bullet, like it had a capsule and everything.
Oh,
And-
I've
Yeah.
seen those.
It covers the
I have
wheels. Yeah.
never seen one here, but this was, I mean, in 2001, we were seeing all this like crazy stuff in Germany that never made it to Arizona or made it to the States.
I think some of those designs over time did not pan out the way they thought they were going to.
Mm.
They weren't well received. I've seen some of the guys talk about the coverings that they make for motorcycles and things like that,
Mm.
and they're not good for like vision if it's dirty and they can't see, and also part of the reason you ride a motorcycle is because I think you like to have the wind in your face type stuff, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
That is, you know what? It is different. Like when you're going and looking at the scenic view, right? Like you're
Mhm.
driving through the scenic view, it is 100% different on the back of a motorcycle. And
Oh, yeah.
seeing it. Oh my gosh, it's like breathtaking almost.
That's
Yeah.
like we got a buddy, Jeff, he likes to go do several 100-mile like motorcycle rides,
Mhm.
and they always go through like the Boot Hill, like what do they call them, the Ozark Mountains, or just places that have beautiful scenery. But you miss so much, I think, being in a car because
You
there's so many
do.
blind spots,
Mhm.
and there's something about probably feeling it and smelling it too because you're in the element of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why people ride all over the place the way that they do on motorcycles, and they don't really take the time. We don't really road trip in cars,
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of going on a ride with your friends on a motorcycle is just being on the road.
Mike
know?
D and I used to go all the time, everywhere. We would just get in on the bike and go. And it was so much fun. And then COVID happened, and something in my brain made me very scared of being on the bike. And I don't know why, but I am nervous the entire time. It's not enjoyable to me anymore at all.
Really?
Hmm. I blame COVID because that's when it all happened. And I'm not sure why, but something clicked in my brain that was like, this is dangerous. You shouldn't do it. Now I can't get past that.
See, we have so many rodents and things like that run across the road, and
Mhm.
birds like hawks and owls that like will fly out of the ditch. That's really one of the reasons why I've never got into riding, because I've smashed some animals before in my vehicle, like four wheels on the ground. I can only imagine what that would be like if I had two
Yeah.
wheels. So, I mean, I've had raccoons take my whole muffler off my car before.
Holy
And
crap.
yeah, I mean, it's just, and I know like Jeff rides around here and he doesn't have any issues, but for some reason I can't get that to go past my brain. Like it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me, but
Yeah.
well, anything else we need to chat about? I'm not trying to cut it short, but
Really? We didn't talk about anything crypto other than there's nothing going on.
Oh, well, let's talk about it.
Right.
Okay.
Sadly.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Let's talk about this for a second, because there are some people that I'm seeing out there that are like, oh, the sky is falling, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Maybe if you overinvested. But if you stayed true to your strategy, I don't really care how low it gets. If ultimately I believe it's going to get way back up to where I think it's going to get,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting longer. Like I get the alerts 5% down, 5% down. I mean, in one of my wallets today, I've lost over like $8,000 because of where it went. And I'm like, okay, but not 3 months ago, that wallet was worth double what it is right now.
That is true.
You
It can
know,
turn at any point. We just
yeah, in 2 months we could be triple what it is now.
yeah.
You know, I don't control it. I have zero control over it. I only have control what I buy. I'm just not worried about it. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I refuse to stress out about it on a daily basis. I'm just
Well,
not going to.
I just feel like right now everything is just so shaky because there's so many unknowns, right?
Yeah,
Like
in the world economics, there are so many unknowns.
yes.
Yeah.
And so how can you really predict? That's why I laugh at all these people trying to do chart analysis and
Yeah,
like
stupid.
and I'm like, stop it.
What history are you gonna compare this to?
Right.
You know,
you can't because I mean the tariffs alone, it's a big deal. This is worldwide.
Well, and now what you're starting to see is some of those countries that there was a list of 6 of them I just saw before we went live that have already told the US, hey, we'll go to zero tariffs or you'll go to zero tariffs, which honestly I think is the whole point. I know it said, oh, we'll do this and we'll make money. I think the whole point is to have an even zero across the board with no tariffs. I think that was the point.
Reset almost.
Yes. So once that plays out, which is not going to be overnight, I don't know. It could be months, maybe a couple years even. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a couple years till that whole ploy plays out. I'm not saying it'll take that long for crypto and the stock market to come back. But once it starts to play out and people can look and see, oh, like it actually is doing better or it's worse, we need to do something different, whatever that is, then people will freak out. People will put money in. But the people that we would consider friends and the people that probably pay any attention to our channel whatsoever are not moving enough money around to make the markets go up and down. So you literally, your only control is buy or sell. So enjoy it and just don't spend more than you can afford and you'll be fine. You will be fine.
That's how I feel. Like I just keep going back to, you know what? We've gone through this before for years. I've seen, I mean,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's just going to happen again. We're just going to get through it again. We always do. And so
at some level, no one can afford to let anyone else fail when it comes to the global scale.
No,
not anyone, but there are some countries that could probably fold that wouldn't do anything, but there are several countries, the United States included, the world cannot afford to let fail. They just can't. There are things that we have that other countries need and vice versa. So I think maybe we're just trying to reset the tariffs to zero, which would, I don't know how much economically that's going to impact us, but it would help with pricing. Let's say this, it should, unless the people that are bringing the things in get super greedy and they just don't lower prices, which have you ever seen like prices of bread go up or say, eggs is a bad example because they jump so high and then they are starting to come down. Yeah. But usually when something gradually goes up, it doesn't ever go back down to where it started.
No. Why?
So even with this, I can't predict what that's going to look like.
No, and unfortunately,
I can't say I don't care. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say it's going to be blamed on our government as to why. When in actuality, it's the people who are selling. It's the people like that's the thing that gets me the most is we're pointing the fingers at the wrong people. But what can you do? Like a lot of people use this as leverage to go after our government.
I would say this.
Good point.
Be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
But to live in hate because of who's sitting in the Oval Office is dumb.
So dumb.
My sister right now is like boiled over with hate. And okay, listen, do I like him better than Biden? I personally do. Because I feel like he's trying to put us first. Is he my savior? No. I don't trust that dude as far as I can throw him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Trust him.
But I actually do like him better than the last guy. Because I do think the last guy was getting to the point of not being competent. Okay. I don't know that he was pulling and pushing the buttons anymore. I don't know that. That's just what I'm seeing. But I didn't rant and rave on Facebook and X about, to me, it's just they want us to be divided and they want us to hate. And I refuse to
What
hate.
I refuse too, because I am very, very much in the middle. I don't know how other way to put it, because do I agree with everything he's doing? No. Do I agree with some things that he's doing? Yes.
Is it also possible that he could be doing things that we don't agree with because we don't have all the information?
Well, that too, but
And for both sides, though, I'm not talking
Well,
about
yes,
just him. There are things that Biden could have done or his cabinet. I think sometimes we give the president of the United States way too much credit for what he can do and what he can't do. But to say that, we will never know all the reasons behind why people in those positions make the decisions they make. Now, some of those decisions could be based on corrupt things. Okay. I'm not saying that's not, but some things may be based on things that the general public as a whole wouldn't be able to handle, to know those information, or couldn't fathom it. And even if they couldn't handle it, they just wouldn't even know what it was. But I do think that it's to the point where I feel like at some level, and I don't even know how many years ago, maybe when Kennedy was president, that you did have Republicans and you did have Democrats, but they were trying to come up with good ideas. And if this side came up with a good idea, this side would help, or vice versa. Now it's just like they want to be split and they want all their minions to follow on both sides and be like this. I think it's because it's a distraction. A distraction of what? I have no idea. But I think I will tell you, my thought is I think it's corruption. I think that we will, if we are fighting against each other, they can pretty much do whatever they want. I mean, I don't care what side of the aisle you are on, but does it make any sense for somebody that makes senator or representative salaries can go from being worth $2 million to being worth like $80 million in 4 years? No. So how are you getting that money? I can't do that.
No, I
can't increase my wealth that much.
Right.
So there's corruption.
Yeah. I saw a thing, and I don't know how true it is. Gosh, and I really hope it's not true, but it is literally, it was a person that had a very similar job to what I do today, making $8,700 an hour. They only work like 10
I saw
hours.
that. I saw that.
It ends up being like $1 million a year, but they only work like 10 hours out of the week. If that is true, I am severely underpaid. And I do a lot.
Well, that's corruption, though. That's not real.
Yeah.
And that's corruption. That's all that is.
I need to.
That's funneling money to somebody else. But I do think that there is some of that going on. I think that at a certain level of power, very few people can actually handle without being corrupt with it. Unfortunately, I believe we have people on both sides of the aisle that are corrupt. They have no longer our best interests at heart. They have each other's best interests at heart. And, but let's talk just real fast. I don't want to ramble about stuff like this, but the disinformation that is on social media right now is insane. The memes that people put out there are half truths, because I decided I'm just going to start researching what these things say. Well, it's half true.
That's for sure.
Right. But I mean, it's just like, okay, well, that part of it's right, but this part down here is wrong. This middle makes no sense. And whatever that looks like. But that's the part that's really starting to wear me out. And it's exhausting. Is just the misinformation of things and people not spending the time to look into it. Well, there are some things that you're not going to be able to find the truth on the research that we have available to us. But there are other things that are easily searched and go, well, that's false. The
thing is all you have to do really is go into the comments and start reading what people are saying in the comments. Take that and go online and you'll see what, like, I have a friend that was sending so much misinformation and handling as if it was the truth. And I'm like, okay, time out. So I would do my research and then I would come back at him and be like, no, this is what it is. And even then I can honestly say I'm not even 100% confident that what I did my research on is even the truth.
Right.
This is
True.
just what I found. And so,
Depending on the subject, I don't know if there's any way that you can know that for sure.
no. So I have a friend who is, he's a public official, like he works for the government, and I can't really say much more than that. But he told
He's
me,
an alien, isn't he?
yeah,
Donald Trump.
right. Imagine. But I have talked to him about, entering the politics world because it intrigues me. And I'm like, I could be a change. And he was like, as much as I appreciate that and how your way of thinking, you won't. He was like,
No.
I
The
promise.
machine's too big.
Yes, it becomes way too corrupt, and they will flip you to that side as well, no matter what.
No matter what.
For
Mm.
In ways that we can't even discuss on this
without
podcast.
even exactly. That's exactly what it is. And
unfortunately, that's what it's come to.
he's like, you have too pure of a heart. You wouldn't do well in that field.
No, you would be one of those people that ended up like.
And my heart's not pure. But
well, if anybody's honest, no one's heart's 100% pure. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But the point of letting it go so far. Now, listen, there is a difference in some of the things that we can disagree, like importance level of. There's a difference, right? Mm-hmm. Like you and I, if we don't agree, I don't want to say the wrong words. Just think of the most severe thing you can possibly think of. If we don't agree on that, we're probably not going to be friends, okay? Because that's a moral thing. That is like ingrained in you. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about what's better, wheat bread or white bread, I'll like knock yourself out. I don't really care. Right. And I feel like there's so many things in the realm of politics that are that stupid. Mm-hmm. Like it's wheat bread, white bread. Oh, you like white? I can't be your friend.
That's weird to me.
That's stupid.
So weird.
Yeah, and I will also say too that if you like Elon Musk, great. If you hate Elon Musk, okay. Great. I still have a hard time understanding why anybody is upset with him finding fraud in things.
I cannot figure
that makes no
out.
sense.
But you know what? I even have people and friends and family that are on that side of, and you ask them and they don't even know. They can't give you an answer as to why they don't want Elon Musk to investigate into what he is with Doge. Mm-hmm. If you cannot provide a logical answer, I don't think that you should be complaining.
I don't think you should be on that side.
No.
Or you shouldn't be talking about it at all if you can't put thoughts together.
Well, I just kind of feel like if there was nothing to hide, what are you so worried about? But these people, they're not in there. They're not hiding anything. Then why do you care? Don't you want to know? Mm-hmm. And it's not right. That is their answer. It's not right. He shouldn't have the authority to do that. Why?
All right. Non-elected officials are appointed all the time at county levels, state levels, federal levels. It happens all the time. It just happens to be one of the most well-known people that have ever been appointed to a position.
Yeah.
But here's the other part of that is in that, because I hate that for whatever reason, it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. That I'm going to say that he's trying to shut down Social Security and Medicaid, which is the two things that people always say to scare people, right? Yeah. Not once in any research that I have done on my own can I find where that's what's happening. What's happening is doing away with the waste of Medicaid and Social Security, not shutting them down. The only thing that I could see on that side of the argument was possibly because the workforces on those two programs are going to be less, you could say maybe it would take you a little longer to get a problem fixed, maybe, if there wasn't as many employees. But have you ever helped somebody with their Social Security or their Medicaid before?
I have not.
Yeah, I had to take my grandmother to the Social Security office, and there's only really so many different problems they can possibly have with it, and it was a super easy fix. And then something got screwed up again. I had to take her back, and it was what it was. I just think people are doing that to scare people because for whatever reason, then that's how you try to get people to join your side of the fight. It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't.
That's exhausting.
But I will say, I want to know where's this, they found all this money and blah, blah, blah. And there was talks about, we're going to give it back to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
Well, and even
why haven't we heard anything more about that it's been a while.
So back to the people part, I think is a misstep on the right side or the Republican side of trying to get people excited. Because even if you were going to do that, that's going to take time. Okay.
Well,
what I want to know is you found all this fraud. Where was it going?
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring those people into the light and go, hey, remember that $80 billion that we that we told you that we found that was going to places it shouldn't have been going? Here are the people that received it, and now they're all going to jail because they frauded the system. That's what I want to see. Yeah. I would be more in line to get answers like that than I would a $5,000 check any day of the week.
And now that's my point, is why even say at all to get people excited about it and then go radio silent?
I think our politicians do that to us all the time.
They do.
And I hate it.
It's stupid.
Because in general, most people will forget over time.
But I really want to know if actual money was being sent to all of these people that were over 100 or whatever, and there was a shit ton of them. Is money actually being sent to them?
So my guess is it's probably
on the books like it is.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
I think it's on the books like it's someone else, or like it is, or it's being sent in that name to someone else's account. Meaning like it's being sent to Holly, but it's actually getting in Josh's account. He just filled something out for Holly and put one of his bank accounts on there. And
because one of those people was over 200 years old, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing at a certain age, 150 and above, let's just say that, I don't only want to hear about how much money is going. I want to know what you're doing about it and where is that actual money? Is it actually going to somebody? Mm-hmm. Or does it just look like it and it's not, and it's helping the Doge team when actuality it's not actually happening? That's my thing.
But until you start prosecuting people and putting them in prison and making their repercussions for their actions, people are going to find another way to defraud the system. They've been doing it forever. I can remember in the 80s, people getting busted for, for cashing their grandmother's Social Security check. Because when she died, they didn't tell anybody, and somehow the Social Security system didn't pick it up, and that check just kept getting mailed to the house, and they just kept cashing it. Who cares? Until they finally got busted, Yeah. But I, at some level, we're gonna have to be okay with not knowing everything either. We just are, because we're not gonna find out everything.
Meg said, "I want to know what the person did to live that long," and Jeff said methylene blue.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm living forever.
This is why I love the comment section. They're going to cut your Social Security at 185 years old, and you're going to go on the news all mad because you're actually 185
with the blue tongue. Yeah.
Smurf it for sure.
Yep.
Well, guys, before we shut it down, I don't think there's any reason to have to play the jingle. I just wanted to say season 4, episode 1 is out. This is it.
We've made it.
Yeah, we made it through 3 years. This is the first episode of season 1 and our season 4. And who knows how many more seasons we're going to do, but it is cool. Like, it's not like an ego thing. It's just cool to know that we've been doing this long and we still enjoy each other's company. And we got people now with the technology that we have that can come along for the ride on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And I just think it's awesome. So thanks to you guys. I think I put it in the comments. Thanks for the guys that have been here since day one. Thanks to anybody that may have just found us today. But we don't plan on going anywhere. We plan on having fun stories and good times every Sunday, right?
Who does hand me the mic when I'm singing Little Teapot?
Huh?
Who hands
I think
me
the guy
the
that had
mic?
the mic. The guy that was singing on the street.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that normally was singing gave me the mic. We had to pay him though to let Holly sing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
you normally tip those guys. We actually had to bribe him. I think
Yeah.
it was $20 to let her sing "I'm a Little Teapot."
Are you
Yeah.
going to sing this Vegas trip?
Probably not.
No?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
So this is the methylene blue bottle. Mike
Oh,
just
it's a dropper. I wondered if it was a dropper.
So each drop is 0.5 milligrams. So I do 30. Yeah, I do 30 or 20 in the morning and then 20 in the evening. I haven't tried the evening part yet because it tastes really bad.
You don't mix it with water or anything?
Yeah, you
Oh,
put
but it
like
still tastes bad?
I put it in like a little thing of water, like in a shot glass, actual shot glass. And this stuff dyes everything blue. Like it's pretty crazy.
Does your pee come out blue?
100% blue. But
That's hilarious.
You know what? It looks like this is so much TMI. But you know how you put the
Do I need to
bowl
mute you?
No. You know the bowl cleaners that you put in and they turn the water blue? That is what it looks like.
Really?
For real.
For real.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't
Yeah.
ever want to get sick and throw up because you'll stain your carpet and
Well, one day, so I was going into the office and
This brings up a story.
I know here, like, okay. So real quick, I was going into the office one day and it was the first day that I started taking it and I took a shot of it and I was like, I was trying to get all my stuff together and I was like, ugh, but something said, Holly, go look in the mirror before you leave. So I did. I was blue. My teeth were blue. My tongue was blue. My lips. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to brush my teeth again to get it to go away because I was blue.
I'm telling you, the first time I ever tried it, I'm spilling it somewhere. I guarantee you something's getting stained blue.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
Because it turns
I might look into it. Maybe I'll let you do it for a couple more months to make sure you don't grow a third arm or something. But
well, I'll let you know when I'm done for the month because I still have like 3 weeks to go because I just have been taking it this past week. Actually, it's been almost 2 weeks now. But I'm going to finish out my month and I'll let you know how I feel. And then I'm going to stop it for a while. And then
gotcha. Oh, I forgot that was the one you cycle on and cycle off of.
Yeah, the gum. I can't wait for you guys to try the gum.
Yeah. No, and most of the time, if somebody would say something like that, I'm just going to politely refuse. But I trust you, so we'll check it out when we're in Vegas.
Yeah, it's something I'm so excited about.
Well, guys, have a great week and God bless.
Yep.
Be kind.
Gotta move the camera.
Gotta move.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.